everyone, Long here. And so first off, I just want to say happy Mar10 Day or Mario Day in like this week. And yeah, in a couple of days, the Mario movie, Mario Galaxy movie is coming out, and it's going to be a grand, awesome time. So why am I talking about Mario Day on this video? It's because like I legitimately had a great time with the movie. I mean, like some things were changed. Some of the plot details had been updated from the time that I played Mario as a young kid, and then now to today when like Princess is taking a much more like forward approach, or like a front facing approach, where she's stepping up to become more of a leader. She's going from being a princess to a queen of her realm, the Mushroom Kingdom. So I think that which I think kind of makes sense here. So yeah, but at the same time, like me at the same time, I hope that I'm holding on to hope that there's going to be something between like Mario and Princess Peach. So I hope that something turns out pretty awesome between them. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool that that Peach is like getting her own spotlight and doing some really cool things to help fight off the Bowsers. So now let's get on to the second part of the video, which is that Pixar is once again falling on its face. It flunked out of it with Elio. It totally flunked with Elemental. I don't know that Pixar really knows how to make movies designed for families and kids again. In fact, I think they basically took their whatever like magic they had and they just pitched it in the trash. So in recent years, Pixar has moved away from like doing family friendly content, and they've started like becoming a bit more diverse. I think it was fine when they had made Coco. I thought that was a very endearing movie. I really did love that they were depicting Mexican culture well, and then I think they also did Encanto. And I thought that was pretty charming as well. So because both of those movies were still intrinsically tied to the family brand, and even like when they did Soul with Jamie Foxx in it, I even said that that movie was well done because it approached a story that would normally be reserved for adults, and then but they handled the subject matter pretty well, and ultimately everything turned out as like family friendly as possible. Now, having said that, I think where they started to like kind of lose me a little bit was when they started like coming out with the movie called Turning Red, which I thought was a pretty good movie, and I thought that it was like, I think it was basically like talking about kids and their yeah, they were going through that thing. I mean, like if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about here, and it was a bit of a controversial issue like at that time, because it was basically like yeah, and even I bought it, which is that the reviewer who originally reviewed that movie was basically like framed as being racist. Maybe he was, and because like of his like because of his very, very patronizing nature towards like the subject matter. And I don't think that was very fair. I don't think it was honestly fair that that gentleman should have like reviewed that movie. I think like for something like that, I mean, like of course he was general audience. That's one, and we could argue about that all day and all day night long. But I think like with many like different subjects, I think like it did require like having the perspective of someone who has had that experience before, and overall I think like Turning Red actually did as well as it did. So and I actually enjoyed that movie too. So, and then I'm also going to touch on Bao, which is like one of my most favorite like Pixar movies ever. It was like my most favorite short that they've ever made. Like I've watched the Pixar shorts. Bao was like my most favorite, the one that stood out to me. I thought that it was done with a lot of heart and a lot of soul and a lot of thinking, and you can very much tell that like Domichi, who I believe still works over at Pixar, did a great job like translating, posing like her her vision, her lived in experience, like being in a Chinese family, into successfully onto film. And I won't ever forget that. I thought it was very endearing, and like that's something like I very much enjoy like sharing with my family. But now we need to come to the most recent film, which is Hoppers. So the marketing shows it as like a bunch of like very very loud beavers, and that's pretty much, you would think that that would be enough to like bring audiences in, but the marketing, first off, did not really do it any justice. In fact, it actually concealed a lot of very insidious agendas. So I myself am an environmentalist, and I do believe in like doing everything I can to take care of my planet, and I love to and whatever I can do to help Mother Nature, I'm going to do it. So that is like I do volunteer to take on community events to like help clean up my forests, to the parks, and my neighborhoods as well. That being said, I mean how it was described by people, who actually watched the movie, it was done in a way that was like so freaking traumatic to kids. So basically like the movie, while it has a lot of like aesthetics going for the children, the subject material was just way too adult, and also it was extremely pandering, with an activist message about the environment. I mean, it's like not only that, but unfortunately, they did not do a good job handling like character deaths, and these character deaths involve like a couple of animals, as far as I understood. I don't know. From what so that's basically like going spoiler free. There are plenty of other channels that will discuss that better, so I would basically suggest looking up, just basically YouTubing a lot of like people who have seen the movie. Particularly, I would recommend checking out Clownfish's channel. They have covered the topic of hoppers very well. Gigi Sparkles is actually has said many times that she herself cares about the planet, and she's one of those like moms who continues to pester her kids to clean up the environment and not make a mess. And even she had a problem with this movie. And if you're like wondering, like, oh, Long, you're supporting a right-wing channel. No, they're not. They're not right-wing. They've said many times that they're libertarian, and I believe it. Just if you were to watch a lot of the content, you can very much tell that they are very much independent, but with Neon actually saying that he's libertarian. So they definitely have a much better perspective than I have, and I'm not going to regurgitate. I would basically will link you to their to their videos covering hoppers, but now I want to get into the kind of the high point, kind of like what it looks like from a bird's eye view now, which is that I don't think Pixar has it anymore in them to make any good films. And this is just me qualifying that Domichi actually did a pretty good job making her story, but I think that's just it. I don't know that people like Domichi really has it in them to be creative and actually appeal to a family audience anymore. I think what they default to, that whole studio overall, it's just about the message. I mean, it's all about ESG, and I think they were trying really hard to hammer the E part in ESG into into their a kids show. I mean, they even used a character desk to just kind of hammer the point home, and that even the main character is an activist, and I don't want. I mean, is that something that kids really want to see, or is that just something we want for kids to see? I mean, it's at the end of the day, I don't think I would be comfortable taking kids to go see a movie like that. I think that's really deceptive. I think it's dishonest, and I think that's like I think that's really dirty of a studio like Disney to do that. And like in the background, I heavily like I wasn't very public about this, but I really don't like Disney in its current form anymore. I mean, like there are people in my family who still enjoy like Disney content, and then they just kind of like yeah, and the they'll take it because they still are raising their young families, and just making sure that they get to like have something to aspire to. And I think that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, they are still like a family to me, and I'll always love them for who they are. Overall, like I'm very sad about the current state of Pixar. They to me they don't really know what it is to like make a really good film. I'm sure that Toy Story 5 will be somewhat successful. It is like it did fall off pretty badly in part 4. I mean, that's despite having Keanu Reeves being in, having a voice in the movie. I think it might have like made money in the box office. I don't know. I'm not gonna check on it. I just did not love Toy Story 4. I think it was just really terrible to like send a message that like they're all being split apart. Like I mean, like I'm gonna spoil it. Like Woody and Buzz, they end up splitting up under certain circumstances because the kid really did not love Woody anymore, and then Woody got really desperate trying to fit in to his new family after Andy gave them away for like a new kid to enjoy. So, and then somehow she decided to keep Buzz and then discard Woody, but Woody ended up staying behind at the fairgrounds that they lost Forky at, and so. And and so they end up splitting up. So basically, they lose a duo, and now in Toy Story 5, they're gonna try to bring the family back together. But I don't know. I mean, like I kind of I feel like they've lost the magic after so many like movies in this attempts to like just pander to a modern audience. I don't know what it is. Maybe they really did believe in it. Maybe they did it because it was part of the quota that they tried to fulfill. Trying to fill out a bunch of check boxes. Whatever the case was, I think they've really compromised the quality of their work over like allegedly it could very well be ESG money. So, but that's just an allegation based on what I've read and what I've seen on the internet. But basically, you can pretty much tell that like pretty much all of like Pixar's works like from the last few years have been designed by committee, and it's not something that like I think like they prioritized getting those messages out over just like entertaining their core audience they once had. And now, granted, like Pixar has been in business for such a long time, so likely people like myself have aged out of their content. But then again, it's like one would have thought that like studios would actually pay attention to that kind of thing. Like they've been around for a long time. It's like, yeah, I mean, like we have these like loyal fans, and then like okay, like well, like can we still connect with them? I think that to be fair, that could actually be. I think that's a fair point to make. I mean, it's been years since that first Toy Story movie was made, the one that like put Pixar on the map. And then there was also A Bug's Life. There was also, there was also like Inside Out, the first one I actually liked. Other than that, other than that, like, I don't know. I'm really disappointed in Pixar, and they've really lost their way in terms of like what their priorities were. So unfortunately, like I don't know how much longer Pixar has left after this, and Toy Story 5 is probably their last shot at doing anything relevant for any audience. Do they even know what audience they're trying to chase? Is it the family? Is it the ESG? Are the ESG people, the aka the modern audience? I don't know. All I know is that this is very disastrous for Pixar. The fact that Hoppers only made 88 million worldwide as of today. It's 9 p.m. now on a Sunday. Like, has the needle moved since then? I mean, 88 million worldwide. I think like Toy Story would have crushed that years ago because it was such a great film. But then again, I'm not checking Wikipedia. I just don't think I just don't think Hoppers is going to go well, and that really spells a lot of doom for Pixar. So I really loved Pixar as a much younger kid. I grew up with Woody and Buzz, and yeah, it's a shame what's happened to the studio. And you know, I know like a lot of people will say this, but you know, like you know, they're probably not Pixar is probably not made up of the same people anymore. I heard about John Lasseter from a long time ago when he was ousted for whatever allegations. I don't know the story. I just know that like people left. But when people do leave, you know, typically like it's a rather drastic sea change, and when the sea changes, so does the direction where that boat is sailing, moving. So, yeah, I mean, like, so anyway, that's kind of like something I wanted to get out there about Pixar. I'm not even going to go see this movie. I haven't really seen a Pixar movie in years. Well, none of the new stuff anyway. I still rewatch Bao. That's a great short. If you can find it, I think you can find that on YouTube pretty easily. But yeah, I still have Toy Story on my original VHS tape. That really does show you like how long I've been around for. But like, no, seriously, I mean, like, I'm really sad about like what's happened with Pixar. But yeah, anyway, I hope that I wanted to get a chance to like get that out there. But anyway, I am going to be looking forward to seeing Super Mario Galaxy. I think that's going to be a banger of a film. I really thought that first movie did it right. So Princess Peach really steps up to become to be a real leader. I think that's just basically how you do it. I mean, it's like you just have to build up all those years of goodwill with your audience, and just understand that, like, you know, at some point she's just going to grow up to not to be a leader, not just be a damsel in distress. I think that's perfectly fine because, you know, like we've saved her like so many times across like many Super Mario games from the NES and the SNES days. And now, like, yeah, I mean, I think it's just time for her to kind of grow into being that leader, and I really liked her for that. Yeah, and then like seeing Mario, yeah, and no, but of course that doesn't make of course, like what I said just now probably doesn't make sense because Mario and Luigi are just like in the movie they're just meeting her for the first time, and it's just us it's just us, the audience, who knows. Who have been growing up like around these characters for such a long time. So yeah, hopefully not much more has changes. I was sad when I heard like the original like voice actor for Mario left. Oh, I got it. Darn, Mike. But yeah, I mean, I really had a great time. I can't wait for the movie to come out. I know I've said that many times, but yeah, but that's going to be it for me. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and continue to make some more videos. I actually did play Slay the Spire 1 for the first time. I've got a video I'm going to be cranking out for that. But I wanted to go ahead and share my thoughts, and I'm also going to be working on getting my my movie channel up to speed. Like, it's just going to be repurposing one of the channels I have up there, so I got to figure that part out, and then I got to get ready for my work week. So anyway, otherwise, be looking forward to seeing a lot of y'all in the theater. Enjoying like a Super Mario Galaxy. I really hope I get a Yoshi bucket too. The Yoshi bucket looks sick. I really want to get one and take it home with me. And then share it with my fam, too. Anyway, that's it. That's going to be it for me. But I want to say thank you to everyone. If you like what you saw, please do like the video, comment on what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. If you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Also, be on the lookout for my other channels. And I'll catch you next time. Hang loose.